Hi, my name is Lisa Alex Gray, and I started the carnivore diet almost a year and a half ago. I started the diet after seeing Dr. Sean Baker on the Joe Rogan show. And at the time, the reason for starting it is I'd been eating paleo for about 7 years, and my diet consisted primarily of meat and dairy, salads, vegetables, fruits, nuts, and seeds. I didn't eat gluten, and I stayed away from grains as well. I really didn't eat any grains. I also ate squash. And I thought that was a healthy diet. Unfortunately, I was 53 at the time, and I was not feeling very healthy. I was gaining weight. I felt inflamed. I was tired. I would have bouts of fatigue that would hit, and I'd just kind of feel wiped out for 5 days. I had bad sleep. I was up and down all night, just really couldn't get restful sleep. I had a right hip that ached all the time. I had major digestive problems. My stomach was bloated. I just could not seem to digest food properly. I was always eating different enzymes and such to try and help that. I also struggled with stomach ulcers. It was a problem I had from the age of 18, and I was now at 53 still struggling with the stomach ulcers. I had just had another bout of them within the last 6 months, and had a endoscopic done, and the doctor said she could see just layers and layers of scar tissue of stomach ulcers that had healed, new wounds that were open. I mean, it was a real problem, and there were concerns about what that was going to mean for me at some point. Could that turn into something scarier like stomach cancer? And the other things, I'd had frozen shoulder in the last 3 years. I'd had it twice. I had it on the left shoulder, and that lasted for about 18 months, and then on the right shoulder within about 4 months. It started on the right shoulder again. It lasted about 18 months, the worst pain I've ever had in my entire life, and I had natural childbirth with my son, and I had just horrible allergies. So these were the health issues I had at that time. So I started the carnivore diet, and within 30 days I dropped 15 pounds, just like that. It just fell off. I'm 5'10". I weighed about 155 at that time, and the first 15 pounds just dropped right off. Immediately, I noticed a difference in my digestive issues. My stomach started feeling better, not bloated, and my energy level went up. It was almost like turning a switch, how good I started to feel within days after removing basically non-animal items, plants, etc., from the diet, and really focusing on the animal kingdom. At that time, I ate beef, primarily steaks, hamburgers. I ate all dairy products. I couldn't eat eggs. I hadn't been able to eat eggs in about 20 years. I would get highly nauseous just from a couple of bites, and it really bummed me out, but I didn't eat that because I couldn't. I'd eat an avocado once in a while, bacon, ham, chicken, fish, seafood. And I still ate almonds. I loved almonds. It was a habit. I thought, well, they're good protein. I feel good when I eat them. So every day in the afternoon, I'd have a few almonds as a snack. And then my treat was dark chocolate, very dark, 95% dark chocolate. I'd have a square during the day, a couple squares at night, and then coffee. I'd have half a cup of coffee a day. That was my main diet when I started eating carnivore. I went with that diet, kept feeling better, kind of leveled off at a certain point, and then in January of 2019, so now I'd been eating carnivore-ish for, I guess, maybe 10 months, somewhere around there. I felt quite good, so I decided I'm going to try and put some greens back in my diet, and I decided to use baby greens because I kind of missed eating salads. I wanted to see if I could bring those back in. So I started eating baby greens with cucumber, big salads every day. I still had all the meat, ate everything else carnivore, like I described, but added that back in. I made it 3 weeks, and I was going downhill fast. Started to feel inflamed. My stomach was a mess. My digestion was a mess. I felt irritated all the time. It took me down fast. I cannot handle plant anti-nutrients. So I realized, okay, I'm done now. I'm not eating that stuff anymore. And I took the plants back out again. started feeling great again within a week or so, and I moved forward from there. Then in March, a couple of months later, I started getting frozen shoulder again in my left shoulder. I couldn't believe it. I'm eating carnivore with a few exceptions that I mentioned earlier, the avocados, etc. What is going on? How can this be happening again? I should be healthy now. At that time, I started hearing more and learning more about oxalates from Sally Norton. She was also on Dr. Sean Baker's show. And I decided, okay, the almonds and the dark chocolate I'm eating every day, very high in oxalates. What if this is the connecting factor? What if this is the reason I'm getting this frozen shoulder? I immediately cut those two things out of my diet. I also cut coffee at that time, even though I was doing a half a cup. I cut that out as well. I didn't like the fact that it was a seed that was being ground up, and I was drinking the infused water. That sounded wrong to me. So I took all three of those things out of my diet. Within 30 days, frozen shoulder was about 90% gone. I really had just very little radiating pain, and that went away within the next month. Gone. I did not go down the frozen shoulder road for the third time. I was blown away by this. After having that happen, I realized, okay, I've got to start looking at each food item I am eating still in my diet. And I started testing every food that remained. I realized chicken does nothing for me. I realized fish does nothing for me except for salmon, so I kept that in once in a while. I still eat tons of shrimp. I love it. Some scallops once in a while. I realized with dairy, the only dairy I truly can eat is butter and hard cheese. The rest had to go. The avocados went. And surprise, surprise, I brought eggs back in. Suddenly, I'm able to eat eggs again. I couldn't believe it. This was a big game changer for me in my health. After I shifted and took those remaining items out of my diet, the ulcers went away the rest of the way. They had slowly been easing backward. I always had a burning pain in my upper left part of my stomach. That had eased up over the months as I'd started carnivore. Removing these few remaining items did the rest of the trick. I no longer have ulcers. I am cured of a lifelong problem. Allergies, 100% gone. Every spring, I went through 3 months of allergies, asthma. No allergy medicine would work. I was miserable. Gone. Non-existent. I spent, I don't know how many years in and out of the ER just reacting to things. A hairspray, something weird would set me off, and I'd have a horrible reaction. Gone. I sleep like a child. I remember sleeping like this as a kid, where you put your head on the pillow, you fall asleep, wake up in the morning. That's how I sleep now. My skin is amazing. My pores are smaller. It's smooth, wrinkle-free. I have some laugh lines when I smile. Other than that, for the age of 54, my skin is beautiful. My muscles are defined. No achy hip. Gone. Digestion. Unbelievable. I dropped another 13 pounds. This is not weight that I was trying to lose, but when I removed those remaining items, the weight just dropped off. I feel amazing. Now what I eat, beef, pork, shrimp, salmon, eggs, hard cheese, that's pretty much it. I do not deviate from those items. I feel good with all those items. Probably the only other thing I'll eat periodically is a pickle. This is something I always was able to eat as a little kid. I still can eat it now. My son, who's a trainer, athletic trainer, eats carnivore as well, and so does my husband, who's 59 years old. We all feel phenomenal. Thank you, Dr. Sean Baker. This has been a life changer, a game changer. That's it.